Hey YouTube, here at Jim's house, deconstructing his fish room. I feel so terrible about what I'm doing, and yet I'm giddily happy about all the fish and tanks I'm getting.
You want to tell them what time it is?
It's 8-ish in the morning, and neither one of us have slept, and I just got done driving 6 hours from last night all the way up into the frozen tundra of Ohio. And how do you feel, Jim, about all this going on? Do you hate me now?
It's a love-hate thing.
It's a love-hate.
Yeah, I love it that they're going to a happy home. I hate that they're leaving and that I have to leave them.
Yeah. It's all for a good cause, man.
All for a good cause. And right now I'm just catching rainbows. Aussie rainbows. What else we do? Got a box full of fish right there. I don't know if he wants to tell you what is in there.
No, this is going to be an unboxing later. Basically an unboxing when they're already in their tanks.
And, yeah.
You know I'm here.
Emptying tanks and carrying.
If there's a Dr. Pepper tin can on the table, you know I've been here.
Yeah, we've been emptying the tanks, manually carrying water downstairs. It's been a big task for Dwayne, for sure.
Trying to get shrimp,
1 gallon at a time.
shrimp and fish moved around everywhere.
Yeah, my room is small. It doesn't look as big as it does on
Yeah, it
YouTube.
looks huge online. But I'm here to tell you from personal experience, those 2 discus upstairs are magnificent.
Yeah, they look so much better in person.
Yes.
Not videotape, as much as I edit or something.
Yeah.
Look
The
as
color saturation of any camera is not doing them justice.
good. Alright, so this is the other big bag we have, right?
Yep.
Also, we didn't have bags in the beginning until we were going to sleep until 9 o'clock, wake up and go to PetSmart and buy some bags. But,
Jim dug through the dregs of his former shipments.
yep.
Here,
Awesome. Alright, so that's a good amount of rainbows right there.
That's a huge amount of rainbows. My wife is going to freak out. I just left the camera running. I don't know what it's shooting.
Is that good or more?
A little more. Too many of them in there. Yeah, rubber band. Rubber band.
Yeah.
There, YouTube. It's a steal on fish. I feel like a cat burglar. I've come in the middle of the night and I've stolen all of Jim's fish. And some of his tanks.
Oh yeah. He got my first tank the second time around in the hobby. That tank, the 12-gallon Kelly Kapowski tank.
Yes, I didn't get Kelly Kapowski though.
No, that went to a girl, a little small girl. She loved that thing, so. She did that better than I did.
Well, I've had more practice than you have. I've done 4 other bags.
4 other bags.
Yes.
And what time did we start?
What, you found those bags about,
6:30?
no, it was
7?
later than that.
Oh,
We
okay.
were about to give up. We've only been at this for a little over an hour, I think.
Wow.
Or maybe 2
I
hours.
have faith then. Taking down the rest of these aren't.
It isn't going to be as bad
Actually,
as
you
you
took down the
thought.
small ones.
Tank too?
Yeah, that's sold
Well,
already.
at least you'll know they'll be gone to a good home.
Yep.
My little discos. Now Jim gave me quite a bit of plant material, and they had trouble getting all this into this tank with the water as full as it is already, but we're going to give it a shot here. Try to get these shrimp and all this moss out. All that plant material made it really hard to try to get them all out. Got everybody. Looks like we did. And the other bag. Now the shrimp seem to make this journey a little better than the fish did. I don't know, I got like 17 or 18 rainbows, big rainbows compared to what we had in my wife's tank to begin with. And I don't know, I guess 20 endlers. and a ton of shrimp. I don't even really have an idea how many shrimp are in this thing. I'm guessing upwards of 40 or 50. And it may be more than that or it may be less than that. But we need to get them acclimated. They need to be used to the water in this new tank before they go in. And you guys have seen this process before. So basically I carried off 3 tanks, 20 rainbows, a pleco, 20 endlers, and 50 to 100 shrimp. And everything did okay except for one of the large rainbows, the largest rainbows, and my rainbow knowledge is really thin, so I can't even tell you exactly Blairi, Belleri, something like that. I lost one of the largest rainbow fish, and I'll refocus on that tank and let you look at it. And we lost one of the smaller fish. I know turquoise rainbow, I think my wife says trifasciatus rainbows, and a couple of rainbows that are unidentified. So I'm going to do my best to keep these fish alive and well. They all seem to be doing, the ones that made it all seem to be doing fairly well. There are a lot of big fish in a small tank now, though, compared to the 125 and 60 that they were in before. So they're a little bit crowded. The praecox and the threadfin rainbows that my wife had in the tank already seem to be kind of cowed by all the really large fish that are suddenly in the tank with them. So it's going to be a process. It's going to take a while for things to get worked out. The large Belleri seems to be really adamant about being the bully of the tank. We're going to have to see how that works out, whether he's going to settle down or the rest of them will just give him his due. He's probably not happy because his one companion died. It's a long drive from here to where Jim lives, and so they were on the road in rather small bags for about 6 hours, and it was cold in the morning when I started doing this, and it heated up rather quickly. I think I may have lost the 2 rainbows that I did because of the increase in temperature in the bags that they were in. I mean, they were too close in the bags, but I still think that's probably what triggered it. And I'm watching that Belleri right now. He's really going through some motions over there. Maybe we ought to focus on him for a minute. Although the autofocus doesn't seem to be doing justice to him. He's really doing some dancing. He's probably not too pleased with his new situation. It's not as big as the 125 that Jim had them in. And there was a lot more cover in that 125 too, so it's going to be a process. We'll try to make him as happy as we can and try to hope that everybody works out their differences. I'm not well acquainted with rainbows well enough to tell whether this is territorial behavior or whether he might move in a little closer, see if we can get a little tighter video of what's going on in this tank. That big rainbow is really doing some work as far as chasing all the other fish off. It's interesting having much larger rainbows in there. The Pracox dwarf neons were pretty much dominant in the tank until yesterday when these fish went in. And because I had lost a fish in each of the rainbow bags, I ended up plopping and dropping these guys. We're just going to have to see how they do, whether they show signs of getting some kind of, that turquoise right there looks like it might be developing ick. I may need to treat this tank for ick. Try to keep from it spreading. But for the most part, they seem to have come through it pretty well. There's obviously a couple of them that aren't matched with the others as far as what they are. But the Pracox are all at the top of the water, and over in this far corner, the thread fins are all at the top of the water too. So they're obviously not too pleased with the new additions to their tank. Before they were dominant, now they've come down in the world as far as their relationship with the rest of the fish in the tank. I'm guessing that big rainbow is showing dominance behavior. He's really doing a dance. I hope it's not a product of trouble that he's having. Now my TDS was not quite the same as Jim's was. Mine's actually lower than Jim's was. So, man, he's really doing some moving around in this tank. He's not showing me signs of being a happy fish. I hope this is not precursor to some illness. But anyway, I wanted to do this video about friendship. Jim and I had never met, although I felt like I knew him through his videos online and talking to him online. And I think that it's indicative of what in a general sense the fish community is like, that most of the people that care about and keep fish are basically pretty decent people, and that for the most part they're pretty much like what what they are that you see on video. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to that. I'm sure there's people that are not at all like they are on video, but everything that I had seen Jim do and all of his interactions with Lucas and with other people made me feel like that Jim was a really decent sort of person that I wanted to make a connection with. And when this issue came up where he needed to basically clear himself of stuff that he couldn't drive out to the West Coast, I really felt like I wanted to make the effort to go and help him, and of course help myself too, because I made out like a bandit. There's no way that Jim should have sold me what he sold me for what he sold it to me for. He's basically giving it to me. And because of that, I'm going to do the best I can to take care of these fish as I can. And I just, my experience with meeting Jim and being in his company was exactly like I imagined it would be from knowing him online. So I would, and I really thank him personally for what he's given me, both in this fish and these tanks, and from his online efforts. And I would really say that you should not be too concerned about actually meeting in person people that you've gotten to know a little on YouTube in the fish keeping arena. Now, you know, you never know. People can be real jerks sometimes, but in this case, I think that most of you should make the effort to help out and to meet other fish keepers online.
Is that little tiny red swimmer there a shrimp or an endler?
Shrimp.
Shrimp are really getting around in there.
Oh yeah, they're swimming like crazy.
I wonder if that's because they're uncomfortable or...
No, uncomfortable should be swimming around like that one was,
Yeah.
doing loops and just
Has
out
she
of it.
moved?
Yeah, but I don't know to where.
Yeah.
Okay, YouTube, I'm going to wrap this up. The shrimp are now in their tank. You can see the plants that Jim gave us are in there as well. And for the beginning here, that's going to be just about a wrap on this theft of Jim's shrimps and endlers and rainbows and a pleco. But that gives you a little idea of what the Kelly Kapowski Memorial Tank looks like now. Good luck, YouTube.